Hello. So this is my rendition of a Malenia type theme song, inspired by Malenia's theme from Elden Ring, and I want to show you my thought process behind this composition. Now I am very proud of this piece. I think this has been at least my most developed piece so far that I've written, and I think it'd be really cool to go through the ideas that what made it sound like it did. So let me first start with the piano sketch, because I always start with the piano sketch just to lay out the melodies and the main chords that I'll be going throughout the theme. Unfortunately, I don't think I have the original piano sketch with me. Oh wow, it says piano sketch right here. Okay, this must be it. So let's go see what it has in here. That was the piano sketch for the piece, and usually what I go for is I just want to see what main chords are being played. Sometimes if I really want to go in all in on the piano sketch, I'll start doing like the rhythm stuff, like with melodies and figuring out where exactly they'll land. But at least let's start with the intro. So the intro, I wanted to make sure, you know, I'm in the key of D minor. But over here with the D sharps, I have a viola playing. So already we start off with a very dissonant thing that's happening. And then everything on top is mostly just in key, you know. Then we have A sharp, or up here. So everything should be in, I think it's mostly in D harmonic minor, not regular D minor. Now the main difference is that C. I don't think I ever use C anywhere, and is instead a C sharp. Yeah, C sharp here. And with here, I wanted to keep it mostly like a minor third away from each other. So if you put it down an octave, you can see that it's all minor thirds. And that only works when you have a harmonic minor, because if we have the C here, it wouldn't be. Again here. And then here, if we go D, then we go up 6 semitones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get G sharp. G sharp is the tritone of D. And so this is going to be a very dissonant. This is the flat 5 of our key. So that's why... Wait, I don't even have G sharp here? What the fuck? Scratch that. What I used instead was F sharp. And F sharp is the flat 4. And F sharp is the main thing that I lean on in this little dissonant section. Which makes it tritone with the C, and the C we don't use in our harmonic scale either. So it sounds very off-putting. And then I go back to the normal key. Basically, I just want to create like an uneasy feeling throughout the entire piece, especially in the first phase. Now the second phase, I think, is where it gets a lot more interesting. Now what the first phase of Malenia does, it has a very, like, it has chromatic major chords that it does. And this is to create like a godly feeling, but also like very heroic. It sounds something like this. And but yeah, it basically just takes this major chord and then takes it up a semitone. Just chromatic planes it up. So that's what I did here to start out with the intro. I think here is my one critique of the track, is that it stays very like 4/4. All the chords are on the same thing. It's not really, there's no main melody to it. And that's, I think, definitely room for improvement for the next time. But here I just wanted to sort of make an intense phase 2 versus a sort of more somber phase 1. And to do that, you know, just have big bombastic chords. And as well as I do use the G sharp in some places, which is the flat 5 of the key of D. Because when you have D and G sharp, you get very dissonant. It's a tritone of D. Here we have the flat 1, or the, what is it? Whatever the C sharp is, the raised 7 with the flat 5, which creates the... It's a very powerful chord in the key of D, because then you really want to go to... which is the first chord. So here is, or it's a minor 6 chord into a major 5 chord. Because when you end on a major 5 chord, you really want to be going back to that 1 chord. I think that's mostly it, as well as I have some repeated motifs from the first phase, such as, let's see, this part, which is a direct correlation to right here. I think that's mostly it for the piano sketch. Let's go into the main melody, or the main track. So right now I just have the piano sketch that we're looking at, but it's not actually playing. And to keep the somberness of the track in the first phase, I wanted to have a lot of timpani rolls. Let's go to our timpani. So again, we're going into our D sharp for a little bit of tension, which is exactly what the violas was doing as well. Let's take a look at those guys. And if we combine that with our cellos, which are playing at D, and they're also going to D sharp sometimes, add in our basses, which are also doing the same thing as the cellos, Ds mostly, a little bit of D sharp at the ends of the measures. And we can get a very sort of uneasy, dissonant little thing going for us. And then we can put whatever melody on top we want. So let's look at the violin 2s, what they're doing with these staccatos. Yeah, right now I just have them playing, what is it, tremolos? No, just sustains. Yeah, these are just really soft sustains. Please don't crash. Okay, let's go to the violin 2s. Let's see what they're doing. Here I have, they're playing just some spiccatos. Right now I'm using CineStrings for the library. All the strings here are CineStrings. They sound really nice and crisp. They're just going with the key right now. Except for when it comes to the D sharp, which is a note I heavily lean into whenever I want to create tension. Especially the F sharp too. Gonna do a little bit of cool action. G sharp definitely, flat 5, so gotta watch out for that note. Violins 1. Some very fluid motions. These guys and the choir, the women's choir, are really the main factors of the first phase and are leading the melodies. In fact, the choir is also sharing the same melodies as the violin ones. Let's see what they're doing. So here in the first half, not really doing too much. I know in the actual Malenia phase 1, the I think it's a main viola or violin, a solo violin that's playing by itself. It carries the same note and it kind of drones on. It's cool, but I don't want to copy it exactly, so I want to create, you know, my own melodies. Yeah, that's mostly it for phase 1. Phase 2, we got some really cool harp actions going on, so let's go see that. And that's also when I introduced the male choir too, since the first phase I only have female choir. just to sort of carry the feeling that, hey, you're fighting a lone warrior like Malenia, Valkyrie, and then only gets epic in the second phase when she brings out her godhood. It's mostly just following the key. In an actual harp, I don't think that's realistic because you do need to set the key of the harp that you're playing in before you actually play it. So, just for the sake of composition, we'll ignore that. I only saw it fit to add the harp here, and then I didn't want it in the second half, but once we get to the really chill part, here's where the harp really stands out. You have to imagine like what the player is going to be playing and how you want the player to play it. Because we are working with virtual instruments and we do want to make them sound, you know, as not as realistic, but semi-realism is what we can achieve. And, you know, I imagine them plucking it very slowly and they reach the top ones, add a little bit of delay to it. And I think that gives it a really cool human touch to it, especially with the delays here. Especially the delays here. It sounds so nice. Very delicate, especially in a very somber part like this. Oh, the delays here I think are really what make it all pull together. How does it sound like all together? Because here it gets more intense. We have the timpani. I think that's mostly it in terms of the composition process. Because, you know, there's also percussion, cymbals. So let me play those. These guys sound really nice. Timpani, I wanted to add a lot more intensity to it. They play more often, more of the rhythm focus. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you have any questions. Can't wait to see you all in the next composition I create. See ya!